Hi, today I'm talking about employment and what's my employment status. Jeremy Khaled have a field day with this, but basically I'm unemployed. I've used to have a paper round from school till early 20s, can't remember, 21, 22, maybe 23, can't remember. But I am unemployed, basically. Job Centre have put me on training courses and for jobs and that in the past, and I've had a few incidences. I'll talk about them, shall I? One of the first, the incidences may not be in order, but it was that long ago. So one of the first incidences, possibly remember, Poundland. They put me on a work placement. Like some of the work placements and some of the work placements and other stuff. Some of the work placements and some of the training. Sorry. The job centre, if you've been there so long, they put you on a work programme called Avanta and Triage, things like that. But for Avanta and Triage, there was a place called Working Links. The Poundland incident was when I was at Working Links, I think. Basically, what had happened was they put me through for a placement, got there. I got there and it was... I got there and I was due to start, so... Now I told the member of staff who I was and that. They said, they took me to a staff room and told me to read this paperwork. Other than that, just left there, not told what was happening and that. Then I get someone to give me then someone came and gave me a message about 15-20 minutes later, maybe longer, to say that the job centre had, or Working Links, had asked me to go back to see him. So I go back to Working Links to say that I've had a placement there before and I can't do another placement. Basically, Poundland had told them that they recognised me from doing another placement there. I admit now I've never had a placement at Poundland. I've gone there sometimes to get a couple of bottles of pop and a couple of other things. That might be where they recognised me from, but never had a placement at Poundland. One of the second incidences with Working Links was we got put on a course, data entry. We got taken up to a minibus to Stockton Thornaby area to do this data entry course. Then on the Friday we go in, fill the paperwork in, like the application forms and that. So I went in on the Friday, filled the application forms in the morning. A couple of weeks came back, hadn't heard anything, so I say to them, like, I think it was Carl or someone, that what's happening with this job? I haven't heard anything back. And he said, oh, you failed the assessment for the job. And I'm like, I never had an assessment. Turns out everyone that was on the course with me that applied had gone to Newcastle for an assessment, and I never got invited. There was another incident. I got offered a job at student loans. They asked you to take a CRB check in to prove you had one. This was before DBS, when it used to be called CRB. I've got an enhanced disclosure, which is the highest one possible, so going to the job centre, meet up with them, and they said, oh, we don't accept the enhanced ones, we only accept the basic CRB checks. If I had a basic CRB check for anything, I would have got the job. But because they had an enhanced disclosure, they don't accept the enhanced ones, they said, they only accept the basic. Which I find stupid because the enhanced one is more. I can see companies not accepting the basic and only accepting the enhanced, but I can't see companies accepting the basic and not the enhanced. But they said you need to apply for a CRB check on the website. They gave me a website, and they said if you don't get the CRB check back in time, we'll give you the money back what you paid for the CRB. I think at this time it was about £50. So I paid for the CRB check, paid £50, never heard anything back. Never got the money, heard anything back from him. There was another incident. Oh, this is my favourite one. I'm being sarcastic there, but Nordic Pioneer. If you don't know what Nordic Pioneer do or did, they go around cleaning the streets, litter picking, and graffiti cleaning. I got offered a job there, litter picking and graffiti in like litter picking, graffiti cleaning. They offered, this was like an apprenticeship. I was asked on the first day to take my medical information in by one of the tutors because it said it helped us help you. This was my SEN statement, special educational needs statement, which is now the one plan, which has now been replaced by the one plan. If no one has heard that term before, so he said it helps you help me, helps us help you, and vice versa. So I'd went in first day, took the statement in on the second day, and the tutor said, we'll need to have a word with the council. The council were doing apprenticeships with the council, but they were doing the training for it. So they said, we'll need to have a word with the council to see what support, what they can put in place for you. Michael Garner, I'll need to have a word with the council to see what support we can put in place for you. This Michael Garner is like the manager sort of thing. So get to the end, I'm made to wait about 20 minutes to 40 minutes after everyone had left in a classroom on my own. And Michael Garner comes through and I say to him, I know I should have brought my SEN statement in yesterday, but I wasn't told I needed to. So he says, don't worry, it's nothing to do with that. You're unsuccessful at the job interview, and it was an admin error that led to me being taken on. Gave me half a week's wages cash in hand, and told me not to come back. So I'd went home, told my mum what had happened. No, I think I phoned my mum to tell her what had happened, and then I told my dad what had happened, and my mum phoned him. He was getting all angry with her on the phone. So I told him what had happened, and he said that was never the case. We weren't asked to what. We never asked him to bring this SEN statement in, and he was trying to make me out to be a liar on the phone to my mum. And whenever she kept challenging him on it, he kept saying, well, he can drive. What does the fact that me driving have to do with the job? Driving wasn't even in the application form, mate. And then I've looked at other jobs and that since. I've had loads of job interviews that I can remember. I go for apprenticeships, go for job interviews, fail the assessments. And then sometimes people say you've done a really good interview but you're not what we're looking for. One of the year I did get put on the waiting list for the Royal Mail once. A few years ago, applied for the job again when it came, when they were advertising again. Failed the assessment that time. I think there was different criteria because the first time I didn't have to do assessments. And like supermarket jobs, Asda and Aldi, if you fail the assessments with them, you can't apply back. You can't apply for another job with them. I can't remember if it's a year or 2 year. I know some companies, if you fail the assessments for jobs, you can't apply back again for a year, up to 2 years. And what annoys me is, I know people that got offered a job, his first job was at Aldi, got offered a job just like that, first job he'd applied for, passed the assessment and that, took the mickey, and lost and messed about. He lost his job because of it, but there's people like me that are genuine, that are wanting a job, that basically don't get the jobs. I can remember as I say, I think a lot of it, like when I'm going for interviews and that, they maybe subconsciously know that there's something different with me, and we don't want to employ him because they're scared, or just don't want the hassle of having someone that's different and not classed as a normal. What I describe as normal is basically what is normal anyway, just being yourself and being that way, being true to who you are, and being who you want to be. That's what I say normal is. But because I'm not classed as the so-called norm, then people might notice I'm different, sort of thing. I have been in situations where I do want a job, and I go to agencies, like support agencies that help you with employment and personal independent skills and stuff like that, to help me build up my confidence and to get me into employment. But I feel a bit like it's past the parcel. I'm getting passed around from one agency to another, because some agencies I'm going to, all your needs are too high for what we work with. And then we go to other agencies, oh, your needs are too low for what we work with. So I feel like no one wants to work with me because at the end, I'm getting some agencies saying they won't take me on because my needs are too high for them, and I get some people wanting to take me on, because my needs are too low for them. I'd give anything for a job, mate. At the moment, I'm looking into voluntary work to basically help me build up my skills for employment. I'm also in the middle of applying for another social care assessment with the council. I think it's called SSAQ or SSQ, I can't remember. I think it's SSQ, self-supported questionnaire, I think, I'm not quite sure. Also, what annoys me is, during the time to look for employment and that, I'm very good at blagging things and companies giving me things for free. Aston Martin gave me a visit around their dealership once. I've had Virgin Media give me a couple of day visits, not in the same year but within the space of 2 or 3 years maybe, like visits where they take me out with an engineer to show me how their work, basically, how Virgin Media work. Aston Martin just took me around the dealership up in Newcastle area and showed me around them cars. I've had Vauxhall taking me out in a car, Vauxhall Corsa VXR, I think. I also had Evans Halshaw in Darlington, what I believe is owned by Pendragon. They took me out in a Fiesta ST and showed me around the dealership, showed me how things work. I also, last year, got invited by Mercedes-Benz into the F1 paddock by Bradley Lord, communications manager for Mercedes-Benz, I believe. He into the paddock on the Friday when me and my dad went down for race weekend. They showed us around the paddock, showed us in the garage. That's the kind of stuff. What annoys me about that is, what I really want to do, what most people can get, is have a job, have a girlfriend. I've not dated yet, but that's a different story. That's on another video. But I can get things what people could dream of, like the F1 paddock visits. Mercedes-Benz have told me and my dad, we get that many people applying, thousands and thousands of emails per year, wanting to go into the garage and the F1 paddock. We normally say no, but on this occasion, we said yes. But things like that where companies can give me visits and free things. Halfords gave me reversing camera once, I think. It just annoys me because it's not the free things I want. It's not the visits I want. I know people that give the right arm and could only dream of some of the visits I've had. But if I had a choice between being unemployed and having the visits, or not having the visits at all and being employed, totally I'd give the visits back and be employed, because sometimes I don't feel like I'm paying my own way. Sometimes I feel like people see me for that actual me. A lot of the time I'm sat in this bedroom basically on the computer or playing on my Xbox. I am trying for a job at the moment. I'm doing various programs. I've got an assessment tomorrow, I believe, for maths and English. But when I do interviews or apprenticeship interviews for a job, I'm filming the assessments. Even though I've got the level 2, level 1 certificates, what I need, I'm filming the assessments because I'm coming out lower than what my certificate says. But you can have that bit of paper at the end of the day. But if you're not using your brain, and you lose the skill and you fail the assessment on it, the bit of paper's worth nothing. I know this has been a long topic tonight, but this is some of my thoughts and feelings about my personal situation. What also annoys me is I do feel like a typical... I do stereotype myself as being someone that should be on the Jeremy Kyle show, that Jeremy Kyle should shout at because I'm unemployed. I just hear the voice in the back of my mind sometimes from Jeremy Kyle saying, where do you get your money from? It's actually people like me that work, that pay your money. You don't earn it. Like the kind of things he says to the people that are on the Jeremy Kyle show. I just feel like a lot of that is said to me subliminally, or is it subliminally in a way. Also, what I have done to help me in employment is learn to drive. I passed my test in 2010. Doctors, my instructor once thought I wouldn't be able to pass, but I managed to pass. Second attempt, I passed theory on the first attempt, driving test on the second attempt. Took me about 2 weeks. No, it took me about 4 hours a week for about a year to learn to drive, but I did it. But go for the driving jobs. Any job. Worth nothing. It's a shame. Everyone in my family does work. My sister, mum and dad. I'm the only one that's not work really, and I just don't feel like I'm paying my way. No, it's been a long one tonight, but as I say, this is personal subject and one very dear at heart. Thank you.